Morning, Year 5s. It's the reading for this week, and it's our Extending Deep In. It's our final one of the week, and it's Dr. Deduction. So remember, the main point about this is making sure that you take something from the text, find the evidence, and write that down. I think this because, okay? So, have a skim read of this extract. We've read it before, but not for Dr. Deduction. So have a little skim read, remind yourselves, and then the first one, what impression do you get of Mount Olympus? Find two pieces of evidence to support your answer. So what impression and what instinct do you get? What do you think about it? So have a little skim read. There's a couple of things here. So it was described as a great mountain. Now that gives me the impression of something huge, to a massive scale. There was a great mountain, so a really big mountain. But also there was no place for sadness, hunger, or thirst. I instantly get the impression there's some sort of mystical thing about it, or magic. Because we know in life, we can't avoid sadness, hunger, or thirst around the world, unfortunately. So just in that line, I think there's two pieces of evidence. So I think the mountain is a huge, monumental mountain, because it says it is a great mountain. Full stop. Also, I think this might be somewhere quite mystical or magical, because there is no place for sadness, hunger, and thirst. That will be my answer. You might have a different answer. But the thing I'm really bothered about is, have you said, I think because, and taken the evidence from the text? That's the main thing we've got to keep making sure we do. Why did they remove their things and put on tattered clothes? So this is on about when they go to Earth, isn't it? There we go. So both the gods put on old tattered clothes. Mercury and Jupiter arrived in Virgo, looking like two humble travellers. Well, the evidence is actually there. You don't have to deduce this one. It actually tells you. So, they removed their clothes so that they looked like humble travellers and were disguised. There you go. Philemon has let them in. What kind of person do you think he is? So at the bottom, Philemon's face broke into a welcoming smile. Why, of course, strangers, please enter our house. Oh, and they've said they're tired and hungry. So, you instantly get the impression that Philemon is a kind-hearted man who wants to help anyone who needs it. I think that's really clear just from those last few lines. The other orange one. What do you think Mercury and his father would have done if no one let them in, and why? Now, for this one, I think you've got to look here. We've got an important task. What shall we do? It's time to test the kindness of those on Earth. If they fail the test, then they'll learn the hard way that unkind behaviour provokes the anger of the gods. So, if no one would let them in, I think that they would have, provoked the anger of the gods. Learn the hard way. The gods would have done something. They would have made like colossal storms, or controlled what happened. Like if you've ever watched Hercules, the Disney film, everything at the end, those titans just start ruining things, don't they? Or maybe if you've ever watched Prince of Persia, where all the plagues arrive from the story from the Bible. So I'm thinking something like that. If they do something, that they change the weather. It's just the fact that they'd learn the hard way not to provoke the anger of the gods. Anger of the gods. I always think if anger of the gods instantly like weather. So it's interesting how you'd answer that one, because obviously that's up to you, but you've just got to, I think if you refer to that line, you can't go wrong. Explain what line 7 tells you about Jupiter. That was line 7. 5, 6, 7. Mercury, he boomed. Mercury, my son. We have an important task to perform. So what does that tell you about was that Mercury? No, Jupiter. So I think this tells you about Jupiter that he's very much in charge. And I think he's also very proud of his son. So, Mercury, my son. So he has decided we're doing an important task. So, Mercury, you're doing it. There's no choice in this. I just think that shows Jupiter's power and authority, even within the gods. Because he boomed it and he said, we are doing this task. Why do you think Jupiter has taken his son with him? So, I think the biggest clue here, obviously, we're saying we're testing the people of Earth, but also what actually Mercury thinks. So his father had eager eyes searching the wise old face. He had great respect for his father and always valued opportunities to please and impress him. So Mercury is trying to impress him. But I think, we know it. Fathers and mothers are always trying to help us learn. They're teachers as well, aren't they? So I think Jupiter is taking Mercury along to teach him a lesson or to show him what is on Earth, or on what to do with them and how to test them, or maybe just to show him life outside of Mount Olympus potentially. But it's something you've got to refer to something here. I think it's very important that you refer to Mercury. The fact that he wants to, Jupiter's got a wise old face, and he had great respect for his father. But it's clear that he's gone to learn something, hasn't it? Brilliant, well done with that, fantastic. I was in the hub yesterday, and I saw a couple of us doing Wednesdays yesterday, and it was brilliant to see what they were doing. So really well done, guys. And thank you for doing it.